He's quiet but effective on the basketball court. The man plays the African harp, and he just became an investor in an MLS franchise. Talking business with Jerami Grant right now at the Nasdaq MarketSite. Hello everyone, it's Jabari Young, senior writer at Forbes, and I am joined by NBA forward Jerami Grant of the Portland Trailblazers, was drafted by my Philadelphia 76ers. Also OKC Thunder, Denver Nuggets, man. Spent some time in Detroit. Welcome to the Nasdaq, my brother. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, great to be here.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Well, listen, we're at the stock market, right? And so you got to give me a stock. Like, what is something you want to buy, something you may be looking at, or something you may have that's doing really well for you?
I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not big into stocks myself.
Okay.
But I do have my financial advisor, Kenny Muse. He does my stocks for me, and he's big into a lot of them. So
okay.
I trust him with everything.
Yeah. Do you call him up sometimes? Say, hey man, what's going on in my portfolio?
Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes if I see stocks going down or something like that, I'd be like, is our money good?
Yeah.
So
he tell you to calm down.
Yeah.
Right?
He'd be like, nah, don't worry about it. It'll be back up.
Yeah,
so,
man. Yeah. You can't pay attention to it. I heard. You know, when you're an investor, it's like you got to put it in.
Yeah,
don't even look
you want to pull out and stuff like that, and you just let him do his thing.
Yeah. And also, man, happy Father's Day. You're a girl dad,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you. Yep.
I'm a girl dad myself.
Yes,
Any tips, man? Mine's just 10 years old, going on 18 almost. Any tips you got?
You might need to give me some tips, man. I got a 1-year-old and a 3-week-old now.
Yeah.
So
Nice, man. How does it feel?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love being a dad. It's everything.
Yeah,
so.
nice, man.
Especially a girl dad.
Yeah, you know, you got
more sentimental.
You got to pay attention too. Attention to detail.
Everything.
You know what I mean?
Everything.
Heartbreaking. Hey, listen, man. Listen, we're right here, and then jump into some news. You just became an investor, right, in MLS franchise DC United. You grew up down in the DMV area. So tell me, what stands out about DC United? Why did you decide to go all in and become an investor with this MLS franchise? I know there's a lot of NBA players that are in the soccer space. You know, Kevin Durant being he's a big one. Yo Gotti is an investor of yours as well in the entertainment space. But what stood out about this? What stood out about this team?
I think a few reasons. I think the first reason, ownership. Jason, Jake, and Stephen, they made it easy for me to invest in DC United.
Yeah.
Forward thinking, real down to earth. You know, usually when you meet people that are that high up and have that much money, you know, they might be less personable and things like that, but they were really cool. They brought me in, gave me the offer. They wanted me to be a part of it, and it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
After that, I mean, I think growing up, everybody wants to play for the big sports team, the professional sports team in the area. So that was always the dream of mine, to be able to play for a professional sports team. But I think you could even one-up that by being a part owner of a sports team in the area. So for me, it was a dream come true to be able to own a team in the area, right? Like you dream about things like that. And when the opportunity came, it was just a no-brainer.
Was it an instant yes, or did you have to say, all right, let me see if the money makes sense, or was it like, hey, I'm going all in?
Yeah, I think the first piece that really helped me was ownership. So we had a bunch of meetings, right? It's a lot of money, right? So like for me, it's like, does it make sense, right? I'm talking to my financial advisor and Kenny, and we're having meetings with Jason and Jake and Stephen and everything. And we want to make sure it makes sense. And it's lucrative, to say the least, and it's only going to grow. The MLS is growing so much at a crazy pace with Messi coming into the fold and World Cup and everything soon. So it's huge, and it was a no-brainer. Yeah. And I would say lastly, like DC United is really into the community. They give a lot to the community, and me having my own foundation, Our Generation Foundation, in Maryland and DC area and Virginia area, and them coming talking to us about partnering and doing a lot of things, that just made it easy. I think I have a lot of roots in the area, and I think this is just another route for me. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Forbes values this franchise $775 million, right? And the average MLS club up 14% year over year. So it's like you're getting into a good business here, man, if the valuation is going up. I was talking to Yogati again, an investor in this franchise as well, and I remember him telling me like he was really into the valuation side, right? He was talking to Jason Levine, right, the owner, and they were up in his suite talking for hours about valuations and things that goes into it. Are you looking to get something out of this from a learning standpoint? If so, what are you looking to get out of the ownership side?
Definitely. So I've definitely had conversations with them already. We talked about it a lot. And I text them every once in a while. Like I said, they're very personable. You don't really think that, but when you get to know them, they're very personable. Him, Jake, Stephen, and you can text them all the time. So I text Jake all the time, about our kids and things like that, and then he'll give me a lot of tips on other things that I'm doing investment-wise, and he's even helping my other financial advisor as well. So.
Did you call any NBA brethren about, hey, what is it like being MLS? Like anybody that's already an owner inside of the league that you call for advice?
No, not really. No, I didn't. I did talk to a few part owners of DC United with Mark Ingram, Yogati. He was at a game, so I got to talk to him last year a little bit. And I mean, they really enjoy it. They really enjoy soccer. Obviously, a great investment at this point, and I mean, they just give me good things. So yeah.
Now we go deeper in your portfolio, right? Is this your first like big investment in something?
Not my first big investment, my largest investment.
Your largest investment. Okay,
yes,
so what's
sure.
inside of your portfolio now? What other companies do you have? What other brand deals you signed to?
So I was talking to one of my finance guys. I don't think we're allowed to talk about too many of the things, but I'm big into real estate now.
Okay.
Recently, I would say in the last few years, getting more into real estate, starting some stuff with family, but big investments as well, and then tech. I'm into the tech space, doing some different things there as well.
Real estate's a key, man. What do you like about what's going on in that sector right now? I mean, the housing crisis is there, right? We definitely need more housing. You find some people who, if they're not building, they're just taking some homes and they're remodeling them, and then being able to rent them out or possibly sell them. Where are you at in that sector?
Buying, fixing up, renting out. I think the longevity of it is something that is important for me, right? Like I've been in the NBA 10 years, going on 11. I know that I'm not going to play in the NBA for another 20 years, right? So getting something stable for me and my family, for the community as well, to be able to have something together and inconsistent.
It doesn't sound like you're going to buy these and sell them. It sounds like you're going to be buying them and keeping them for the long
buying
haul.
them, keeping them. Some you gotta move off. It's a bit of a game, but we've been keeping a lot of them so far. So.
Cool. Yeah. Well, listen, I made some calls around the league, right? And I called my boy Aaron Finchers up in Portland. And I said, man, tell me something dope about Jerami Grant. And he says, well, man, listen, he's in the anime, right? I'm like, we see that online, so you're really in the anime. And he says, Jabari, he's original when it comes to fashion, man. Where do you get your fashion eye?
Where do I get my fashion eye? I think I always had an eye for it. And I think over the years I've been able to curate it. I love anime, like you said. They always got some good stuff on. TV shows, inspiration. I travel a lot, so when I'm traveling, I go to India, I might go to Africa, and I might see something that's inspirational, and I'll be like, okay, well, I got to find something similar to this. And then I'll search through a few brands, figure out which ones I like, and I think I got a good handle on what I like now. I curated. Well, one of your essentials was Rick Owens, right? Like I know. What do you like about Rick Owens in that line? I don't know if I can afford Rick Owens, man. You make more money than me, so you got the Rick Owens. But what do you like about Rick Owens? Because he's in your essentials. I love it. I think Rick Owens. He's a genius when it comes to the fashion space. His fits, the way he drapes his clothes, all of it is very simplistic for the most part, but it's very unique to him, and it's something that is almost impossible to recreate. So.
You remember the best fashion tip you ever got in your entire life that just changed your whole style? And if so, drop it on me, please. Best fashion tip
I would give, and I don't know if someone told me this or if it's kind of just hit me from watching other people, maybe from watching Russell Westbrook is a really good friend of mine. So in OKC, just being around him and seeing that he was himself, I think that the tip that I got from that, he might have told me, he might not have, but just be yourself. Like whatever whatever you enjoy wearing and however you want to look, just be yourself.
Yeah.
And once that hit, it was just like, it doesn't matter what other people thinking about what you're wearing as long as you like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him that question. He's coming to the BLK Summit. He's one of the keynote speakers. So I'm definitely asking that, man.
Yes, sir.
But, let's dive into your background a little bit. You grew up in Maryland, right? Your dad is Harvey Grant. Your uncle Horace helped the Chicago Bulls and the Lakers. They beat my Sixers that year too,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I don't even like that. But what's the biggest thing you learned from your dad on the court and your uncle?
Just to work hard.
Yeah.
That's what they preach the most, was work hard, stay at what you're doing, and eventually things will turn out the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's something that I keep with me always, right? You might not always see the end, the picture in the end, but as long as you're working hard, it'll get where it's supposed to.
Yeah, and then you go ahead, man, and you attend Syracuse, David Falk, right, College of Sport and Human Dynamics. What was your backup plan, right, when you were in Syracuse? And again, you mentioned that you're not going to play basketball forever, but when you're in that grind in school, right, are you thinking you have a backup plan if basketball doesn't pan out? And if so, what was it?
Not at all. No backup plan.
Wow.
It was always like, this is going to work. I'm going to play basketball. And when it's time to think about what's happening after, I think about it then.
Yeah.
But in the moment, no backup plan, ever, really.
I'm just going to college like I'm going to the league. I don't care how I'm going to get there. I'm going.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I've been blessed with a lot and worked extremely hard to get here, but just been blessed, to be honest. So,
yeah. What was one of the biggest things you learned from Syracuse coach, Jim Boeheim? I mean, listen, he's a legendary college coach, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things you learned from him, that you use in business and that you use just as a man.
He was a winner. I think that was his thing. And for me, watching it from his perspective and seeing how he coached us was just like, we're going to win games no matter what. No matter what the cost, we're going to figure out how to win these games. So that was huge. And another coach that really brought me under his wing, Adrian Audrey, he's the head coach there now. He taught me work ethic and everything, just on another level. I think I've been working hard for a while. But he brought me up, took me under his wing, really cared about me, 6 a.m. workouts and stuff like that. So translating that to business, I think it's similar, right? Like, you got to put the time and the work in order to get the results that you want.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you drafted by the Sixers in the second round, 2014 draft, right? Before I go on, did you have a cheesesteak when you was in Philly?
I love cheesesteak.
You did? Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
My favorite was Ishka Bibbles.
Ishka Bibbles, all right. That's on South Street. It's right across the street from Jim's, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So Jim's is your favorite?
Jim's is my favorite.
Okay.
Delisandro's and Jim's, right?
Yeah,
so I tell you, if you go
bad.
anywhere outside of those two, I don't trust you. Get out of the city. Right? Those are the two.
Cool.
But I mean, listen, second round pick, man, and here you are, right? A 5-year, $160 million deal you signed with the Blazers. One can say you put a lot of work in to go from that, because you usually don't see that. Second round picks, they come in, they grind. You don't see them get that type of contract. But here you are going and working hard and did it. If you had to describe your career in one word up until this point, what word would you say it is?
I would say perseverance.
Perseverance.
Yeah, I would say that. I think you don't always see the end goal. You don't always see. Sometimes it's hard to see where you're going. But if you put your head down and work, that's always been something for me. If I put my head down and work and enjoy what I'm doing, really enjoy and love what I'm doing, results will be whatever they're supposed to be, right? You got to be able to accept whatever it is, and I think I've been able to do that. So.
Yeah. In between your career, was there, I know you said Russ was one of the guys you kind of really gravitated to, but was another guy, a vet, that helped you along the way to get you where you are now? I mean, like, listen, when people look at your stats, I say quiet but effective on the court. I mean, you was averaging 21, right? It ain't like you out there just putting up bad numbers. You were averaging really good numbers, but has there been a guy or a vet that's really helped you along the way to kind of get you to where you are now?
Yeah, I would say Russ. Russ is definitely the biggest.
Wow.
He took me under his wing in a bunch of different ways, to be honest. On the court, off the court.
What was he like off the court?
He's cool, like, he's super cool. I mean, that's my brother, right? Like, I mean, he enjoys life. He really enjoys what he does. He enjoys being a part of this, being a part of something bigger than him. And I think there's a lot of qualities that I took from myself that I seen in him that I like. So.
Yeah. Did you when he was in that mood? Did you try to call him and get him up to Portland or something like that? Like, hey man, why don't you come up here and play with us? I know Russ likes LA because he's from that way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's hard.
He's home. He's home. He enjoys that. So.
Yeah, yeah. And now, if I'm not mistaken, you were born in Portland. You grew up in the DMV, but you were born in Portland.
Yeah.
Does that mess, like, you find yourself playing there now? Like, do you just like, man, this is wild. I was born here, and now you find yourself playing there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's full circle.
Yeah.
Me and my mom talk about it often, right? Like, I was born in Portland. I lived there for about 2 years, moved to the DMV. So in my mind, I'm from the DMV, right? Like, I grew up there and everything. But full circle, right? Like, my dad played there. Now I'm playing there, right? Like, my daughter was just born there. So it's just full circle when you think about it. And that
blew me away when I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, man, he was born in Portland.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he grew up in the DMV, but now here you are playing there. Like,
Right.
did that factor in when you signed the deal?
I don't know if it factored in. I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah.
Though. So when it hit, it was just like, yeah, this is what we're doing. Just have my family out there, knowing that I was born there is crazy.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. One more stop, man. I made another call, and it was up in Detroit. I talked to some people there, and they flashed back to 2022 when the owner there, Tom Gores, he had put up $20 million, and he came to the players and said, hey, what should I do with it? And I called up there. They says, man, Jerami was the one that was behind the scenes telling them it needs to go to this community center in Detroit and the West Side. Like, that was him pushing that money. And I go back, where do you get that civil, like, that community from? Like, where is it based? Did something happen where it sparks you there? I know that, David, Falk College preaches public service as well, but where did you learn that from? Where does that passion come from?
Yeah, so I would say growing up, we had a lot of ups and we also had a lot of downs. So not to get into details too much, but we had a lot of ups and downs. So just seeing both sides of how you can live, with a lot of money and without a lot of money, and just being able to feel that and understand how it is, and to have people help you out, and to know how much it means for people to give. My mom always taking us to like the soup kitchens to give back and feed the homeless and things like that. I think that's something that she instilled in me really early on, and then also to feel that was a big difference. So when it was time for me to come to the NBA and make a lot of money, it was like, okay, it's time to start Our Generation Foundation, right? Like, it took a few years in the NBA to get my footing, and then I started the foundation, Our Generation Foundation, and things like that. Whenever it's people coming to us with a lot of money that they want to donate, it's you got to look at it from the people that you're giving perspective, right? Like, what do they really need? And I helped facilitate that, and I think that was really good for the community out there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, your foundation, right, and mission is to inspire and empower youth to explore their talents, providing information, advocacy, and service to them, maximize their potential and their special gifts. I would think that community service out there in Detroit West Side, it aims for that, those barrels under that.
Yep, exactly.
Listen, man, wrapping up here, some macroeconomic stuff and some fun stuff. We'll start off with, what is Jerami Grant? What do you look for in a business pitch, man? So when you leave out of here, see somebody coming off of the elevator, and said, I got something for you. What do you want to hear in a business pitch to get you going?
For me, in a business pitch, I need to hear something that resonates with me. I alluded to not believing in coincidences, so it has to be something that I've seen, I've felt, or makes sense to me. It has to be something that I enjoy or that's tied to me, right? DC United was big for me because it's in the area, right? Like, they give back to the area. Professional, one of the top professional sports team in the area. So for me, that was like, okay, well, it makes sense. Like, I don't have to think about it too much, but also, like, let's talk to, Kenny and everybody about if it makes sense financially. So a business pitch has to resonate with me. I would say that.
Got to be organic. Yeah. Biggest financial literacy lesson that you've learned while you playing basketball? Like, it had to be something that just triggered.
Restaurants are difficult business.
Restaurants are difficult business. So I take it you're in the restaurant business then.
Was
in the restaurant. You got out of the restaurant business.
Yeah.
You didn't like it, huh?
It's hard. I think it's hard. I think you have to. So in saying that, I would say the biggest thing is when you're getting into business, make sure that you're getting into business with people who know what they're doing.
That person that ran the restaurant didn't know what they was doing.
Yeah, I mean.
Your first million, man, I think I know how you made it, right? How did you spend it? Anything you would do differently?
My first million, I got my mom a house. Me and my brother, we went in together. And I saved a lot.
Wow.
Right? I had the same 2014 Audi Q7 for six or 7 years.
You still driving it?
Nah.
You upgraded that.
Yeah, I upgraded now.
Okay. Do you still have the car, though? Some people keep it for sentimental reasons.
I gave it to one of my close friends.
Okay, so you gave it away.
One of my best friends.
So you're still in the family then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your saving technique then, right? Because, you get a lot of money, people can go AWOL. What's your saving technique that maybe some people can learn from?
I think get a really good financial advisor. But also I think you figure out what you really enjoy doing, and you make a budget. I think a lot of the times when you make a lot of money, you think it's infinite, right? But it's definitely not. And it's a lot of ways you can spend money, and there's a lot of ways you can spend a lot of money. So I would say, like, for me, it's budget, right? Like, this is how much I have to spend this year on clothes, or this is how much I got to spend this year on investments. And it's like, okay, well, like, we can't go past this.
Yeah. Are you frugal?
I think I was a lot more frugal before.
Okay.
I think I'm less now. I think I'm frugal for the amount of money that I make.
Yes.
I would say that.
I was going to say, well, you make a lot of money, so you can afford to be a little bit spurted. But frugal, only asked that because Matt Bonner, man, who I covered in San Antonio, this brother, man, was one of the most frugal people I've ever known. Drove a Chevy Impala for the longest time, wore flannel shirts, and he just really took saving his money like to the next level, right? I mean, he just did not spend it at all. You know what I mean? Definitely good. Any good summer books that you have? Any good leadership books, man, that you would recommend?
Leadership books. 42 Laws of Power is a good one.
Definitely read that book.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to read it, definitely should read
Robert
it.
Greene, bad boy.
It's really
Robert
bad.
Greene, yes.
Yeah. The Art of War. You also can translate that to business. Yeah, I would say those two if we're talking about
Art of
business.
War, man. You're getting real technical now,
Yeah,
man.
you got to.
Generative AI, when I say that phrase, anything come to mind? I mean, listen, it's giving the ability for people to really enhance their creativity. We could be looking at a Jerami Grant anime with this technology, man.
Yeah.
Anything coming to mind when I say generative AI for you?
Yeah, I'm into some tech investments. So
Gen AI tech
we got a little bit of that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's on the up and up, right? Like, if you find the people that do it the right way, I think it's definitely something that you should get on. So
yeah, most definitely. Get you out of here on this, man. Good to Great, Jim Collins. Very, very good book. That's my favorite business book, Good to Great. What's the difference between, and you should know because it runs in your family, right? What's the difference between a good NBA forward and a great one?
I think the work ethic. I think a lot of people, or everybody in the NBA has talent, right? Like, you have to have talent in order to get there. I think the work ethic is what separates from a good player from a great player. And I think you have to have that to stick around and to be able to be who you're supposed to be. So.
Yeah, you gotta have good work ethic too to be able to play the African heart, man. You gotta teach me how to do that one.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I mean, it looks hard though, man. And I'm gonna forget the strings or something like that. So, but I appreciate the time, my brother. Good luck to you in the MLS investment, man. I'm sure once you decide to cash out the way those valuations are going up, man, it will be a good return on investment.
Thank you.
And happy Father's Day again. Jerami Grant here at the Nasdaq MarketSite. I'm Jabari Young, Forbes senior writer. See you next time.